What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where each and every Saturday we discuss all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, my right-hand man, my ABXY, Arthur. What is going on, man?
A lot. Having a really good day because of things we're talking about. I'm just really hyped to talk about the thing I want to talk about, but it's gonna be the last thing we talk about.
Yeah.
But
it's like those news things where it's like, tune in at 11.
Yeah. It's like
I just want the main fucking story, and then the story's
what's
like,
Arthur hyped about? Come back at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm good. Life-wise, playing a lot of Coop with Victor. Did a Mario Party stream. Did an impromptu Mario Party stream last night with Ivan, Prime, and Cheyenne.
Oh.
That was really fun. Though you definitely need to figure out some kinks because there's definitely hard fucking host privileges like me because Prime was hosting, and then myself, Ivan, and Shan were like there was a little laggy, like little lag spikes.
Yeah.
So so he won like every minigame. He won almost every minigame, and he fucking killed us too. Like I forgot how Mario Party. If you end up hating the game, that's kind of like the point. You're like, fucking god, 3 stars in one turn, fucking asshole. And then it's part of the course.
Yeah, I've always been traditionally awful at Mario Party. So one of those things where it's like, if someone needs like me to play, it's like I'll be very clear, like I'm an extra body, like I'm not good at Mario Party.
That's Ivan. So far I've played I think like five plus games of Mario Party with Ivan. He has come in last every single time, including the day that he's had to switch for a while, and then one day, this is a while back, he buys Mario Party. We come home and play it. We play like 3 games. He came in last every single time. Came in last night. Like we all had like 2 or 3 plus stars. He had just barely got a 1 star on the second to last turn of the game.
Damn.
But otherwise, I'm doing good. Rams are gonna play Buccaneers this Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Big game, dude.
Everybody is, man. That was, dude. Like, cause that was short version, real quick. I know, like, shocker. Nerdy game. Arthur is getting more in sports, but hey, thanks, COVID.
Yeah.
So, ice maker gonna make me cold later. Yeah, I'm excited for the Rams Buccaneers game. Like, they're the reason why the Rams didn't go to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
And they could potentially be the reason why.
They're the reason why everybody didn't go to Super Bowl last year.
They got knocked out. But
yeah.
But potentially people are saying like this is the precursor for the Super Bowl this year, because remember, LA is hosting the Super Bowl this year, so there is a chance that the LA Rams can go to the Super Bowl at their home stadium. Yeah,
and they're definitely. It looks like they're conditioned to do so. I mean, they have a great. They're really on a great streak right now, and so I feel like once this game happens, then you can really see like, okay, like they're not for play. Like even if they lose like barely, that's still a huge fucking achievement.
Yeah.
For compared to like with playing against Tampa Bay. So
yeah,
see what happens.
Like this is the game everyone's looking forward to, because like other teams, it's like they lost, like, yeah, no shit, like, oh, the Bengals didn't pull a win. Not exactly fucking breaking news.
Yeah, seriously.
So I'll stop shitting on the Bengals when they do. I think the Bengals threw 3 interceptions in a row.
God damn.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, if you're just joining us here with us, welcome.
Hello.
Be sure to subscribe here on our YouTube channel for Gamers for Life. Talk about all things games and even some things all around it or aside of it. But really great stuff, content here, video clips. We have a bunch of episodes too, via audio and video. If you want to check out kind of everything that we're doing, whether it's Arthur managing the Twitch stream for the very stuff that he's doing there, various videos that we upload, or if you want to check out the audio versions, just since because all the video episodes, not all 51 episodes will be on there. You can check out all the other ones that are in the audio version. Go to linktree.com/gamers for life. That is the one-stop link to check out all of our stuff. So be sure to do that. And again, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out a lot. And then also on your favorite podcast listening platform. And here at the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news while you can watch or listen to what you choose by clicking on the links within the time code of the description of the episode, whether you are on Spotify or if you're on YouTube. I can't speak on Apple, Apple Podcasts if they do have the hyperlinks for the description or a lot of the other apps, but definitely on Spotify and on YouTube. Hyperlinks will be there in the description, so you can kind of go to the segments that you want. So, feel free to do that. Or if you just want to hang out with us, you can do that as well. This here at the Gamers for Life podcast. And we have a short but sweet list of topics here today.
Yeah.
Because we have the big tuna that we want to talk about start at the end of the episode, which surprised me and positively. But one thing that also surprised me positively is the initial perception of Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yes.
Really excited for this, and I know this released for, what was it, PC and PlayStation 5 and 4 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually it will be on, I think, Xbox. I'm not sure when. But the biggest thing for this is that it's been getting really, really good reviews, And then according to Metacritic, and obviously when it comes to, that's a deeper, darker criminal link when it comes to like Metacritic being like, is this actually valid or whatever it is. But at least we can look at numbers, regardless.
Yeah.
81% or 81 on Metacritic score, which is Metascore, which is pretty good. And the user score is 9.0. Mm-hmm. I've even seen some articles saying that it reminds them of a PS2 game. And that was very, positive ears perked up for me as well because, I've been bitching and complaining as far as for PlayStation. One of the things is that they don't have titles that they're not digging into the crates of these PS2 games that have been so classic or just taking any type of reminiscence or just style, what makes them great, and applying them to PS5 titles. And it seems like, Kena Bridge of Spirits, it's not one that did not disappoint. I know Biomutant, we were looking at that one, and that one's kind of tanked.
Well, okay, Biomutant didn't exactly, I wouldn't say tanked. Mm. It just didn't live up to what we thought it could be.
True.
So one thing about Biomutant, is by THQ Nordic, and my brain did a fart. Because I kind of want to mention one other thing.
THQ Nordic.
Yeah.
No, that's a great point. I'll look it up as you talk.
Yeah, because that happened too. But okay, so Biomutant was this game that was being hyped forever. It had been delayed. It looked amazing, but it ended up being more cartoony than we thought. We thought it was gonna be more edgy and gritty, but also mechanic wise, we thought there was gonna be more to it. So it's it's the way to describe it. It's kind of like Godfall. Wasn't bad, but wasn't what we thought it was going to be. We thought it could be more. Like I said, Biomutant, that's good, but we all thought it was going to be great.
Right.
From pretty much what I've been hearing is again, fun, but not what you expected. And to a point when it's not what you expected, to some people that's bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, again, it's out of 5-star reviews, it's getting 2.5, 3. Biomutant is.
Yeah.
Now, Xena Bridge of Spirits, for those of you that have been listening for a while, you can't form a mental picture of what game was that again? This was the one with this was the cartoony art style, with the girl and this blue staff, and I called it Pikmin for PlayStation. Because in the trailer she keeps collecting all these like little blobs and stuff, and again it had that Pikmin feel to it. So I'm really happy this game's doing well, because when it came to the Sony showcases, this was one of the games that I was looking at, like, oh, that looks fun. It had like, again, when we were showing like slight gameplay and stuff like that, the combat had like a Zelda vibe to it.
Yeah. And
then the companion stuff with the blobs had like a Pikmin vibe to it. So again, if you're gonna tell me there's a game like Zelda plus Pikmin, I'm like, fuck, take my money. And not only take my money, but be good, which I'm glad it is. Again, it's like getting a consistent 8s and 9s from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, man. I'm really excited to play this game, actually. And this is another great title. I feel like that would look great, perform well on the PlayStation 5 as well, so it's kind of adding more to that library, and we'll see what happens for next year when it comes to PlayStation. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that a bit, just because seeing how well this game is doing is very much an exciting thing to me. This is one review. It's according to gamer.no. It says amazing graphics is one thing, but Bridge of Spirits is so much more thanks to engaging level design and surprisingly deep combat. It's a game over delivers on almost all fronts, making a truly superb and memorable adventure, which is pretty cool.
That's a good word to use, over delivers.
Yeah.
That was like kind of mean Monster Sanctuary. I mean, remember the game I was talking about? It's like Pokemon, but with Final Fantasy, and there's so much more to it.
Right.
Same thing, over delivers. I'm like, oh, there's this mechanic, and there's this, and there's this, and there's, oh my god, there's like, yeah, and again, kind of reflecting back to Biomunit. This is in a good way kind of doing the opposite to that. Again, where Biomunit was, we thought it was gonna have this and this, or like, we thought it was gonna be X, Y, and Z, and it wasn't exactly that. And you pop on a game like, for my example, like Monster Sanctuary, and from what we're seeing, you pop on Xena, Bridge of Spirits, and you're like, oh, it has this and this, and then that. Yeah, over delivers. That's a good keyword I like to hear.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about Kena, Bridge of Spirits. So very excited for that, and I know we're dipping into THQ Nordic. And you watched that.
They had a showcase.
Right? Yeah.
Hosted by Jarrell's best friend, Jeff Keighley.
Clown Shoes Keighley. Shout out to Jeff Keighley.
And Joe and I have praised THQ Nordic's success for years. So THQ, to celebrate its 10th anniversary, had a little showcase. Nothing crazy, but it was again really fun because it was just really fun. I think some of the biggest takeaways from THQ Nordic out of nowhere was Destroy All Humans 2.
Yeah,
that looks fun. The classic Destroy All Humans 1 was a classic that of course got remastered. It's on the Game Pass. I played a little bit of it. I need to play more, but again, as I mentioned with Xbox Game Pass, there's just a million things. I started playing something else. That the game's bad, just like, oh shit, this other game I was half for came out, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So Destroy All Humans 2, and then DLC that we knew about for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Another game I need to get back into.
Yeah.
I still have yet to be. It's still super fun.
It's a great game. Great game.
But yeah, so THQ Nordic's because that THQ Nordic showcase was the day after our last recording.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like we recorded on the Thursday, blah blah blah. It was on the eve of like we couldn't cover it because it was like the next day. And since but reverse that because it came out just after recorded. So many other things have come up since then. That's how we kind of like, oh yeah, we forgot.
Right. Yeah. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. The two main stories we're talking about later today, being Apple and Nintendo that we'll get more into.
Yeah.
Again, kind of overshadowed a lot of other things that happened earlier in the week.
Absolutely.
But I think Destroy All Humans 2 was my favorite. One of my favorite things from the from that showcase. I'll have to revisit it. We might put more on our Instagram.
Let me go and read this article while we talk about that. So this is according to GamesRadar.com. So the Destroy Humans 2, it is called Reprobed. Hilarious.
Sexy.
So it says here in quote, the natural next step after remaking Destroy All Humans last year, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, obviously. Crypto returns to wreak havoc across fully overhauled stages featuring weapons reworked to create more interesting options for inflicting chaos on foot and improved building destruction when beaming down on your flying saucer's death ray. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X sometime next year, 2022, end quote. So, very exciting. I will be playing this on PC, definitely. It's funny. Destroy Humans 2 was always one of those games that I always saw when I was working. Never actually played, to be honest. I know the game is supposed to be really fun, and if I did play, it was for a very short period of time. So, might be one that I'll actually jump into myself playing.
Yeah. First one, the remastered of the first one's on Game Pass.
Nice.
Part 2 has not been confirmed or announced Game Pass, but if not, that's still fine.
Yeah.
And that, to a point, that makes sense. Like, I can see how, like, again, Part 1 in Game Pass, Part 2 sold separately. I can understand that.
Yeah. Me too. I would say so as well.
You get into the series and surprise you have to buy a second game, that's fine.
One game where just the name of it was definitely nostalgic for me. Jagged Alliance 3.
Yeah, that was another thing about the THQ showcase is they're bringing back a lot of IPs that we have not heard in a while.
Yeah,
like Jagged Alliance was definitely one that stood out, but again, there's a lot of games like from this from the old like generations ago of the old consoles that it's like, oh, now part 2 is going to exist, part 3 is going to exist. So but Jagged Alliance was one that stuck out for me of those old IPs I've not heard for quite some time.
definitely. I kind of have a slight tangent I want to dive into now that reminds what you just said reminds me of a game. And granted, it's probably I don't think they own the rights to this anymore, but I'm gonna hold my thought after we go through this because I do want to dive into that rant. Let me read this. Let me read this quick blurb here on Jagged Alliance 3. So it says, no, this is the first game that venerated tactics series has come back since Jagged Alliance 2 left players wanting more in 1999. But hopefully this will be the one to get it right. Tropico and Surviving Mars developer Headmemont Games, I believe, is leading the charge as it brings some familiar mercenary faces as well as some new ones to the new region full of strategic opportunities only on PC. So yeah, like you said, definitely it looks like it just released just kind of a handful of titles. Definitely MX versus ATV Legends as well.
Yeah, that was another one. But yeah,
That was definitely like, whoa, like I haven't seen that in forever. Just to talk about that one, off-road says here in quote, off-road racing games comes to the new generation of consoles with more options for players to carve their own path to greatness, including a new trails mode that in quote pits you against nature like never before. Heading to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. With no window release date or release window currently given. So we'll see what happens there. I'm surprised Alex 2 was announced. I remember that game vaguely.
that's the one where I think you're like a Navy, like an astronaut or like a armed forces guy.
Yeah.
And you get like, bam, it's kind of like a Planet of the Apes sort of situation.
Okay.
And not except different. It's just hardly. It is a different planet. You're like, I'm in space.
You're blowing up. Damn you.
Yeah, through like a wormhole or something, you end up on a different planet and become kind of like a rebellion for them. Again, the game we haven't seen in decades. One thing I will mention real quick. For all consoles, PC, Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony. Again, to celebrate the anniversary, THQ is having a sale.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for all consoles, Xbox Marketplace, Xbox Marketplace, PC, all that. So again, so if you're listening to this, check the sales. They're good. Like at least I can speak to the Xbox Marketplace. A lot of these games are like 80% off.
Wow.
Like yeah, definitely check it out. There's like a lot of good sales there.
Does it say when it ends?
They all have different ending dates.
I see, because they're on different platforms, right?
Yeah,
that
so
makes sense.
they're all like Xboxes. I think last the longest Nintendo lasts the longest, which is till the 29th.
Oh, okay.
Xbox is till the 28th, and it just says Sony can enjoy sales as well during the celebration with no dates there.
Okay.
But definitely check it out because again, like there's sales upwards of like 80% off for some of these games.
That's sweet. Very sweet. All right, so tangent time for Jarrell.
I'm a cosign guy, but go ahead.
So one of the games, and I remember this being a THQ game, and I don't even know if it's a part of THQ Nordic or whatnot, but I feel like a series that deserves more. It deserves a rehash. It deserves kind of like a back to basics because, especially with today's technology, it would be phenomenal. Red Faction. You remember Red Faction? That was one of my favorite when it was a first-person shooter. That was one of my favorite first-person shooters.
That was a fun game.
Fucking ever. Yeah, like I remember I played it on PlayStation 2. And I loved it from the music. Obviously, Destructible Environments. I know that was one of the big games on the PS2 console where it was literally destructible environments. I remember just creating fucking caves and shit throughout, the game just because I could. The vehicles and stuff were really awesome as well. But yeah, again, obviously the destructible environments. But then even like the multiplayer of creating bots and stuff, like that was super fun as well.
Yeah.
Creating that. But yeah, man, I just, and Red Faction 2 was okay. It wasn't great. Like I was really hyped for that, and I was like severely disappointed because I beat the game very quickly. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they did the Red Faction Guerrilla, which actually I heard was actually a pretty good game. And then Armageddon, and then they just stopped. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm missing another Red Faction. But I would like for them to go back to basics: first-person shooter, Red Faction, Xbox Series X, PS5. Let's fucking go.
Dude, because that is one of those games that was fun. I remember one of the games had an Easter egg of like one of the games had an Easter egg gun of a unicorn, and I just realized I think like I can only assume Anthony Birch or Andy Pitchford played that game.
Yeah,
because there's a similar situation in Borderlands, but in one of the Red Faction games there is an Easter egg gun of you pick up a unicorn. And the gun, the quote unquote gun, as you're holding this like baby unicorn in your hand, you're shooting its poop. You're shooting its rainbow glitter poop at people.
Oh my god!
And the reason I say Anthony Birch, who wrote Borderlands 2, or Randy Pitchford, somebody at Borderlands clearly played that because now I immediately thought of what's her name, Princess Buttercup, the fucking the unicorn.
Oh, okay.
The fucking unicorn that was like a big part. That was like a big part of the Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina DLC. Bunkers and Badasses we talked about, where the kind of thing is like the princess is in danger, you need to go find her, and turns out it's the fucking unicorn.
Nice.
By the way, I'm looking up. It looks like Red Faction has switched over to being under Deep Silver.
Okay, yeah, because that's why I was like, I was kind of like having a disclaimer before my tangents. I don't even know if they own the rights anymore, and it seems like they don't.
Well, and by the way, and like something we were talking about before recording, if there's any company now that's known for fucking production hell, fucking Deep Silver.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely, you're right there.
My quick tangent with Deep Silver, I still want Dead Island 2.
Yes,
that trailer.
One day we will get it, Arthur. If we got Kingdom Hearts 3, we'll get Dead Island 2. Even though I know Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't as eventful as everyone wanted it to be, though, right?
Oh, you mean like the four-minute fucking playable music video of Let It Go? Yeah, because that's what people want. Like, oh, I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, I can't wait for the fucking Frozen world. Oh, God. Kill them all. Just burn them. Burn them all. Hey, Olaf, you're a snowman. Fuck you, fire. But kill them all.
Oh man, but yeah. So if anyone's listening to this that's connected to Deep Silver, Red Faction, don't forget about Red Faction, guys. That was a great fucking series. Good stuff there. So moving on to let's just
stories that clearly overshadowed the THQ Nordic showcase. Not to sound wrong real quick, but like I googled it right. I googled it right now as we're talking. All the articles were like how to watch the showcase instead of like things shown from the showcase. Was like all the articles were from like a week before it aired.
Oh really? That's funny.
So I could see how like again like so clearly we were the only ones that are like, oh yeah that was a thing.
Yeah, definitely want to talk about that. So before we do. Speaking of hell and the
Doom
and the demons that run around, that is Apple.
Yes.
So as you guys know, a trial of epic proportions, as we've discussed, the Apple versus Epic trial. As far as for the trial in general ended, when it comes to the legal proceedings, they haven't ended. And strangely enough, fucking Apple pulls an Apple, and what I mean by that is this article here on GameSpot.com, which I will read the title. It says Fortnite banned on iOS for as long as 5 years, Sweeney says, as he accuses Apple of lying. And the header here, Epic Games CEO responds to the judgment in the Epic Apple lawsuit and reveals what has to happen for Fortnite to return to the App Store. So before I even start this, this kind of detests to what we talked about the last episode, as far as like, people are really behind in the capability in some of these super fucking conglomerate corporations abusing their power.
Yeah.
And a part of this trial, this should have been a part of the trial for them to not be able to do this after the fucking trial.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. You mentioned that. So again, so what's happening is, again, so reminder of the trial, short version, Apple lost. Now, mind you, Epic had to pay a fine, but it was like breadcrumbs of a couple $1 million. Again, to these companies, that's fucking breadcrumbs.
Right.
And then thankfully, Apple couldn't be a monopoly,
Right.
and has to allow other sources of in-game purchases other than their app store, which is a good thing.
Right.
And again, almost verbatim, like we text each other. Apple being Apple was, oh, okay. Well, it's gonna take 5 years for this to go down. Okay, so during this half decade, you're not gonna be on our fucking store anymore. And the immediate thing I thought of is, how is that fucking legal?
Dude.
Like how? Like I mean, like Apple lost. Like again, they went to federal court, and Apple lost for being a conglomerate monopoly situation. And their reply is, well, we're just gonna remove you off our store completely. How is that fucking legal?
It's a great question, and the only thing I can think of, if not, rummaging into the specifics, is they must have, whoever was keeping a close eye on this, and you know what? I think they made this decision even before the trial fucking ended. They probably found some legal loopholes as far as, hey, since they are in a trial, we actually have a legal right to not have them represented on the store until all the stuff is all said and done. So I think they just found some legal loophole, and then they sent Tim Sweeney that letter, saying, hey, fuck off. So yeah, this is completely inexcusable.
Real quick, I'm mixing up my Tims. Cook is Apple?
Tim Cook is Apple, Sweeney is Epic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's funny. I think I actually sent you. Oh no, I took a picture of it. That's what it was. Because he took a picture of the email that he got from Apple, and he put it on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
Was like, this is what these fuckers are doing. And I'm gonna read a little bit of this, not all of it, just because I think a lot of it we've already discussed, but. Let me see if I can get to the bits here. Okay, so it says here, in quote, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney blasted the decision on Twitter, saying that it is not a win for developers or consumers. He went on to say that Fortnite will only return to the iOS App Store when and where Epic can offer in-game payment and in fair competition with Apple in-app payment, passing along savings to customers. We will fight on, Sweeney added. It says here that GameStop has followed up with Epic in an attempt to get more information about the possibility of Fortnite returning to the App Store. Says late in the evening on September 21st, Sweeney said, Apple informed Epic that Fortnite will be blacklisted from the Apple ecosystem until the exhaustion of all court appeals. This could take as long as 5 years, Sweeney estimated.
Fucking nuts, dude.
So he said here on the Twitter, said last night Apple informed Epic that Fortnite will be blacklisted from Apple ecosystem until the exhaustion of all court appeals has been as long as 5 years. And he took a picture of the contract, actually.
Apple is so fucking petty over this shit.
It's disgusting.
They're okay with losing $1 billion, because that's how much they're making. That's how much they've made. That's how much they made actually, plus that via Fortnite in the Apple Store. You know what I mean? So so Tim Cook is like, it's like, you know what? Yeah, fuck you, Tim. Fuck you, Sweeney. I'm willing to lose $1 billion so you can go fuck yourself.
It's the fucking definition of retaliation. You know what I mean? Like, and then so it says here, and this is from Gibson Dunn. I guess that's their legal proceedings that they work with on Apple. Let's see. What the fuck is this? So it says here, I want to read this because this is what he put on Twitter, Tim Sweeney, a letter here. So it says here, in quote, Dear Gary, I am responding to your recent request that Apple reinstate Epic's developers program on account, which has been terminated for cause last year. Epic committed an intentional breach of contract by concealing code from Apple and making related misrepresentations and omissions. In its decision, the court recognized that Apple had contractual rights, as it did and merely enforced the rights of Epic's own internal documents show Epic Games expected The court further found that Apple's determination of Apple was valid, lawful, and enforceable. Following the decision, Mr. Sweeney has publicly said that Epic wouldn't trade alternative payment system in a way to get Fortnite back on the iOS. In light of this and other statements, the court proceedings decision, coupled with Epic's dubious conduct in the past, Apple has exercised its discretion to not reinstate Epic's developer program account at this time. Furthermore, Apple will not consider any further requests for reinstatement until the district court's proceedings become final and non-appealable. That's the legal loophole. Fuckers. Because Epic broke that contractual agreement.
Technically breached their contract.
They said, well, we legally can pull them from the store. Motherfuckers, man.
Dude, again, 5 years, like we're gonna get GTA 6 before Fortnite's back on the Apple Store.
Dude, this guy on Twitter, he says, 5 years, I'll get a girlfriend before Fortnite gets back on iOS.
Dude, that's like, dude, half a decade for a game, for a game lifetime. That's big. Like, as far as pretty much Fortnite's dead on Apple, like it just is. And that's the thing too, because even though they took them to court because people are using, Epic's in-game store to buy shit, it still doesn't change the fact that, like, how much money and how much foot traffic Apple's fucking store has got because of Fortnite. And again,
yeah.
So again, Apple and fucking Tim Cook over there is like, yeah, how much would this affect the bottom line? Like $1 billion over the next few years? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. They're willing to lose money over this petty bullshit, bro. That's fucking crazy. That is crazy.
It's like you said, like I texted you, just Apple being Apple. And like, again, for Apple people, like, oh my God, that's so weird. No, this is not. This is Apple. Like,
yeah.
this is why I shit on them all the time. And the kind of link of, adding this to why I like shitting on Apple is not entirely a game story, but again, relevant to Apple. It broke news that EU, the European Union, has now legally decided that Apple has to, well, Apple and other companies, it wasn't like they weren't, like Apple was named as an example, but
yeah.
That companies can't abuse proprietary, in Drell's word. Okay, real quick. One of the ways I describe Drell and I's conversations, it's like pinking the brain. Whenever Drell and I have a conversation off recording about shit, it really is like pinking the brain. Because Drell texted me, yeah, Apple, yeah, it's really bad that Apple, what was the exact, I want to get your exact verbatim correct intelligent words versus my reply. It was like,
it was proprietary devices.
It was Apple was abusing the proprietary accessories for profit. I'm like, yeah, assholes. It's like,
yeah, can we talk about that?
Yeah, it's like pinking their brain. Like, well, Pinky, you see, Apple was abusing its proprietary accessories for profit. Yeah, they're assholes. Narf.
Narf.
That's just the tone of that was the tone of our conversations back and forth. Whether we should dive into that story or just mention it, I was like, let's just at least mention it. But I was like, they're assholes. And you send like this really nice worded, professional reply of like proprietary accessories for profit. And I'm like, yeah, assholes.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Well, because the EU, they basically said as well, like USB Type-C will be like the charger, like the cable charger, and Apple will have to fucking use it within those European, the European Union region. So that just makes everything better, you know what I mean, when it comes to just consistency in its form. But obviously, because the fact that Apple doesn't have to put their charger and or their cable in their boxes, and they can force customers to pay more fucking money in a Best Buy or wherever, for them to get additional profit, and for the EU say, no, everyone has to use this cable. So now like either they're going to price gouge that particular Apple Lightning USB Type-C cable.
Apple USB-C cable for $40. Like, exactly. I'm sorry, but in 2021, if you're a reoccurring Apple user and you're complaining like, I have to buy a new charger for every single device, welcome to the fucking 21st century. Like, this has been a decades long thing.
It's been a thing.
Like, all I can do now is warn Android people or people that are considering buying a phone, like, oh, should it be Apple? And I always say no.
Yeah.
But again, for people, it's like, oh, I have a charger A for this headphones, charger B for the phone, charger C for the fucking dock, charger this. I'm like, dude. Again, if you're a reoccurring Apple customer and you're just like, I kept getting fucked in the ass. Like, at one point, you're gonna turn around and be like, I don't like this. You know what I mean?
Because what they could do as well is they can put in a software patch into the phone where people have to buy the Apple Type-C cable.
They absolutely can.
It's crazy.
They absolutely can because mind you, just so you know how easy that is.
Yeah.
Fucking printers can recognize a different brand of ink.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So Apple's saying, oh, you bought a fucking 7-Eleven cable for $2. Fuck you, go buy a $40 one.
Yeah.
Now remember, but here's the thing that's absolutely worth re-mentioning for this. This is European Union.
Yeah.
So now the question I was asking myself and Jarrell, I was like, will we see this in the U.S.? No. The U.S. does not give a shit. Even to a point when, with games and monopolies and stuff like that, like as we mentioned in stories, it's usually Australia, European Union, and some individual countries like Poland and Belgium. Those are the ones. I swear, I'm a little mad. Like, as an American, I'm a little mad that Teddy Roosevelt's antitrust laws have died, whereas the European Union and Australia and these other countries are carrying on that antitrust shit. Whereas, the U.S. home to, originally kind of the big founder to these antitrust laws is like, fuck it, give us a check.
Basically. But yeah, so Apple's being Apple again, and hopefully Tim Sweeney and Epic. I'm hoping that the court realizes that. I mean, the thing is that they're using legal loopholes.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that just the proceedings of whatever they fucking need to do to close the case, hopefully they can turn that 5 years to 2 years to 1 year, because I know that's a good amount of profit from them, for Epic Games. So,
Because like you mentioned, this has a ripple or a pin drop of a legal basis to this, because again, the trial originated from, on face value, the trial originated as breach of contract.
Yeah.
And since that was the foundation of the trial at face value, there is some legal backing to Apple's decision to remove them from the store.
Right.
Which sucks.
Right.
But the other part of me is like, if you're trying to play shit on Apple, what are you doing? I'm sorry. Because again, if you're listening to your adult, I like playing on Apple. Okay. I mean, I'm not. I'm just. There are many reasons why I shouldn't Apple as much as I can.
Yeah.
And this is another reason why. And that's not including not the super tangent. But there's so many dots you connect with Apple being a shitty company to the fact that it is 100% true. They've gone to the Supreme Court. It's not a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. It is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Apple makes their products to die when they come out with a new one. That is, they went to the Supreme Court about that. So if you're an Apple user and you're wondering why your MacBook Pro, why your fucking PC, why your fucking tower, why your phone starts shitting out every time a new version is announced, it's built to do that.
Yeah. And
even further, they're also going to court now about this too, is the right to repair. Because Apple literally builds their shit difficult to repair, and they don't release the specs. So people can't default know how to repair it even if they want to.
Yeah.
So connecting all these dots with Apple, fucking shit. And here's the thing. I'll say this though. This next topic we're talking about that I was so hyped about, I was more hyped to talk about the next topic than a shit over Apple. I'm just saying a lot because I love shitting on fucking Tim Cook. So like I said, on the next topic we're going to transition to, I was more hyped to talk about that than fucking cussing Apple out, which I love to do.
Yeah, definitely, man. And to transition over to this surprised me exponentially, because I remember we were just like, oh fuck, there's a Nintendo Direct.
That's literally how that conversation went. It went like, oh yeah, there's a Nintendo Direct today. We should check that out. Holy fuck.
This was the, arguably this is the best and this is the best showcase this year.
We're using it.
This fucking year.
You're using it. We're using a different mixer, so we don't have the button. So I'll fucking do it. Nintendo Direct. Good job.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I know we're using a different mixer here.
fucking
Yeah. Insane, dude. Fucking insane. And I'm not even, and again, I don't own a Switch, you know. I'm not a Nintendo guy to heart, but I respect Nintendo greatly, obviously. But this, as far as like knowing when they fucking did that, they fucking did that here, bro.
Dude,
give me some of your impressions before I read this article.
Opening statement. This was the best Nintendo showcase I have ever seen. And this includes E3s. This includes Direct. This is the best one.
Wow.
Now, people say there's other announcements. So like, oh, what about when they announced this?
Breath of the Wild.
So yeah. Real quick to E3, people say like Nintendo won E3. No, if they showed this E3, Nintendo would have fucking won E3.
So good.
But like, because that's the thing with Nintendo too, is like Sony, they'll have other like Nintendo Directs or quote unquote, you know, like state of plays. That Sony does, dedicated to one game. For example, during the showcase today, they announced 2 more showcases, but just for individual games. So they announced one showcase just for Animal Crossing's new expansion coming November. That showcase will be in October. And they announced, I think October 5th, or coming October 5th or October 10th, is the showcase for the last Smash Brothers character. So again, where there's definitely been other like internet hype reaction or like crazy fucking mic drop moments.
Yeah.
Like mic drop moments. I would argue as a collective showcase, this is the best. I think this is the best one I've ever seen from Nintendo.
Yeah, man.
I was losing my shit.
Yeah, definitely. I want to read this article in a second. Before I do, as far as just the baseline of my impressions of this, what made this so powerful is that, you know, it wasn't just, and Sony has to fucking like, they have to take notes from this. Like, I feel like before this recent Sony PlayStation showcase, they were just doing state of plays to do them. You know what I mean?
Like they had to. Like, let's show the gamers what they're hyped for.
There wasn't a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't structured. It wasn't really showing that like anything was really being worked on. Like, this one was so fucking purposeful. They had really solid titles to launch just to show the longevity of this system. Because I know they were quiet for a bit. They were quiet for a bit after that Breath of the Wild, you know, but everything was just boom, we're doing an update for this. Boom, this character for this game is coming out. Boom, this is happening. And then I was telling you off air, as far as the biggest important thing for me was that all of these big things that they were announcing, oh yeah, this is next year.
Next year.
Like, that's fucking huge, bro.
Because we mentioned even like, I think like last week, the week before, how the last Sony showcase was the best Sony showcase. It was like, that was the first Sony thing that actually made me want to buy a PS5.
Yeah.
But I argue, as I said, like that. But even that being said, I'm not gonna buy a PS5 now,
right?
Because everything we saw is like 2022, or a significant chunk 2023.
Yeah.
You know, like God of War, like Spider-Man, like 2 years, like, you know, these are years out from now. Whereas Nintendo was like, boom, new update coming November, boom, next year, boom, 22, boom, 22, like dates. There's so much. I mean, what do you want to talk about first?
God damn it! Yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot.
I know. I want to save the other big thing too, but let me start off with this. So according to IGN, it says here in quote, Nintendo's latest Direct has arrived and brought it with some big updates for the Nintendo Switch, alongside announcing the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership that will add N64 and Sega Genesis games. Nintendo also unveiled a Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the first gameplay trailer for Bayonetta 3. New Splatoon 3 gameplay and expansion for Monster Hunter Rise, and so much more. And definitely so much more here. Just a brief excerpt here on the Kirby and the Forgotten Island is an adorable looking new adventure headed to Switch. It says this game features wide open areas that Kirby can explore and are filled with enemies that he can copy to acquire their abilities. Crazy stuff.
Real quick, so a couple things about this one is like Kirby games are, for the most part, like a lot of Nintendo games are side scrollers. So this is so the fact this one's like arguably, if not open, it looked like, you know, open world.
Yeah, what I saw, yeah.
And a quick funny story about this. So I'm watching at home, and for whatever reason, I was watching it through I think IGN's, and for whatever reason, at least what I was watching, I don't know if my internet decided to hiccup or what. out of nowhere the video quality like dropped to like 480. So I'm like, fuck.
Oh shit.
So I switched to a different Nintendo. Like it had the Nintendo logo.
Yeah.
So I thought it was Nintendo. Like I thought I'm watching Nintendo's thing. All of a sudden it's like Kirby. I'm like, what the fuck? So apparently
like the Spanish Nintendo. Oh, that's awesome.
apparently,
that's dope.
I switched to Nintendo España.
That's amazing.
So it was like Kirby. I'm like, what? Like, and the thing is, it took me longer than it should have to realize what was happening. I seriously thought this was called Kirby. Because there have been
Ideal meal. What just happened?
because there have been Spanish influenced things in games before. Going back to going back all the way to Pokemon Gen 1, Arctic Uno, Zapdos, Moltres. You know what I mean? So there have been Spanish influences in Nintendo multiple times. So yes, I absolutely thought until someone else started talking.
Yeah,
I absolutely thought this game was called Kirby.
That's hilarious, bro.
And then like I was like, okay, no. And like, and I look at like what video I'm watching. I was like, Nintendo España, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, that's what this game's called.
That's hilarious. That is fucking funny. So a little bit of detail here on the expansion pack. So it says here, a Nintendo Switch Online getting a big update that will add both N64 and Sega Genesis games to its service with the new expansion pack membership. Says this update will arrive in October of this year. And Nintendo promises that it will reveal more about pricing and an exact release date closer to its launch. Launch lineup of N64 games includes Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Sin and Punishment, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64, Winback. Oh, Winback is fun. And Yoshi's Story. So the launch lineup of Sega Genesis games includes Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin. Wow, shout out to Echo the Dolphin. Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hard Ops, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe. Damn, that's dope.
Yeah, they're bringing it back.
That's dope. Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Fantasy Star 5, Rise Star, Shining Force. Shining Force is fun too. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, another classic. Strider, Strider. Says the service will also get more N64 games in the future, like Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, and F-Zero X. This is smart.
That was
dude.
fucking huge.
This is so fucking smart. This is exactly like, remember we had this conversation actually. Yeah. We were like, man, like Nintendo doesn't even really need to do anything like a Game Pass because Nintendo's Nintendo.
Yeah.
They were listening. They were like, you know what? What if we did something kind of
What
like
if we dipped our feet into this like library of games payment situation?
And you know why this is smart too? Because we know Nintendo to be the classic DMCA monsters, right? Like, do not have a wrong.
So we were talking about this. Is so much of this showcase was surprise mic drops.
Yeah.
And in a quick tangent, this is why I fucking hate leaks. This is why I fucking hate not only leaks, but I hate companies like spoiling their own shit.
Yeah.
And this isn't just gaming. Like go back to E3, right? Go back to E3 this year. Why were there like 3 or 4 fucking trailers for new things 4 days before E3? There was that Battlefield. There was that Battlefield gameplay trailer. Again, I liked it.
Yeah.
But I liked it more if it was like a fucking at E3.
Right.
There was so much. There's so much shit. Like even movies do this too.
Yep.
I talked about how Batman versus Superman. We were looking forward to a Batman versus Superman movie, and all of a sudden a trailer a week before that movie came out shows fucking Doomsday. And the second that trailer dropped, everyone knew that was no longer a Batman vs Superman movie. It was a fucking Doomsday movie.
Exactly.
Which it was.
Yeah.
And whereas like again, to a point, a good way. This is the one thing I'll compliment about Nintendo being the undisputed king of fucking DMCA strikes. Is nothing fucking leaks.
Nothing leaked, bro.
Nothing leaks. There was no okay. So now I will say this. Now we did hear how Nintendo, through their own things, was preparing. Adding the phrase was like adding N64 games to the store.
Yeah.
And that was cool. That wasn't like a leak. That wasn't a spoiler. I was like, hey guys, guess what? Coming soon, we're gonna get more N64 games to the store. That was a great announcement. That was a great announcement for people that are on the fence about the Switch. That was a great announcement for people that already have the Switch. But to say, oh surprise, they're coming to the store via a fucking like library Game Pass situation, and then my like, oh fuck, was again, the nothing leaked. It was a surprise. Was the Genesis games, because we knew nothing about that. We knew 64 games were coming to this. 64 games were coming to the fucking store.
Yeah.
But again, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when they showed that Genesis logo, I was like literally in my house, like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, like, oh shit, we're getting Genesis games? Because as I mentioned, I didn't grow up with Nintendo.
Yeah.
I grew up with Sega.
Same.
So and then even further to be like, oh, guess what? You don't want to play this on a Switch? You want to play this on an N64 controller? Or a fucking Genesis controller? Bam, new Bluetooth controllers.
Man,
those are gonna sell.
Yes, they are.
Dude, they will
be gone.
There's another thing. We're gonna go down the list, but again, and I'm gonna mention it again of like, holy shit, this is happening again because that's the upside of Nintendo. Again, like because nothing fucking leaks from this company. All this was like shock or surprise, and I would even argue because it wasn't leaked, because it wasn't not even rumors. There was no rumors about this expansion pack, library of games. There was no rumors about them fucking adding a plethora of Genesis games,
right?
Let alone a Genesis controller. It was because it was a shock and surprise awe moment that makes us want to buy even more. Versus like, hey, a rumor. So there's a rumor they might have Genesis games, and a week later, rather than going, oh shit, Genesis games, the reaction would have been, oh yeah, that rumor is true. Cool, Genesis games. What's next?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like again, like not hyped. Not again. And I would argue to a point because you're not hyped and you saw it coming, you're not reaching for your checkbook.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, take my money.
and no, you're 100% right, and that like that because that's the cloth that we come from when it comes to like E3, where like nothing was spoiled. Like they showed E3 shit like during that time, nothing was shown before, and we're like, holy fuck, that's fucking crazy, And obviously today, everyone's either leaking it or just companies are they just want to fucking release it early just to get that those views where the fuck it is. But yeah, this whole thing with the lineups of the N64 games, the Sega games, amazing fucking decision, great fucking decision. It just shows that they were listening. Obviously, what we talked about, I know this is the last trailer they showed, and we're definitely going to talk about what I think what we're going to talk about. But first I want to talk about this first is Bayonetta 3 gameplay 2022 release window revealed. Dude. So it shows here in quote, nearly 4 years after its reveal, we finally got a look at Bayonetta's 3 gameplay in a release window of 2022. The stylish trailer showed off a ton of action that fans can expect from the game and a new ability that allows Bayonetta to control demons. The end of the trailer also showed a mysterious character who looked like Virgil from Devil May Cry. Crossover anyone? Question mark.
Dude, that game alone. Dude,
that game's great.
Bayonetta
that series is great.
I missed part 2. Like I just recently, I think it was like last episode, I recently mentioned how like I'm still fucking mad at Bayonetta 2.
It was Wii U, right?
It was the Wii U.
Yeah.
Which I will say this. After it was really funny that night after our conversation, I literally started watching gameplay or like walkthroughs. I'm surprised of how well the Wii U handled that fucking game.
Really?
Because the Wii U is not known for its power, or its performance, or its graphics, but yet it fucking pulled through and handled Bayonetta 2 really well.
It would be a fucking stunt, bro, if they released a special edition with Bayonetta 2 and you get Bayonetta 3. Can you imagine?
It's funny you say that because not more than like 3 weeks ago, I just bought the remaster collection of Bayonetta and Vanquish.
Oh wow, nice. Great games. Yeah, same company, right?
Platinum Games.
Yeah, great.
Which is also, again, well, real quick to the Bayonetta 3, how we mentioned at the end, we're like, is that Virgil? I think that's Virgil. Yeah. Of course, from the Devil May Cry series, and that crossover is gonna be amazing because again, they're both Platinum Games.
Right.
Devil May Cry, kind of built up the foundation on those Platinum Games, and they've gone on to make amazing titles.
Yeah.
And that crossover wouldn't be exactly too difficult, like story wise, because both games is kind of like the whole angels demons situation.
Yeah. Definitely.
I was so excited when I saw that. Real quick, another laugh out loud moment. I definitely hard fucking laughed when so it shows this big demon, right? So the trailer opens, you don't know it's Bayonetta. So first of all, the trailer opens, you don't know it's Bayonetta.
Yeah.
And there's military guy shooting this weird demon looking fucking thing, and something actually hit it that does damage, and the thing turns around. It's like this fucking goofy blow up balloon of a dog saluting. I legit fucking lost my shit. This demon's like, what's behind me? And it looks like fucking like one of the dog. Looks like that one character from Hanna-Barbera Looney Tunes. Dude, reporting for duty. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Oh my
I
god.
thought it was Yakuza for a second.
Yeah.
Just because again like Bayonetta and like other Japanese action-based games are balls to the wall. What the fuck's happening? Yakuza's very like, what attacked me? A blow-up doll, balloon dog.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy shit. It's like, what is happening exactly? And then also too, I know we talked about. I mentioned a little bit in the beginning here, but Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak expansion pack announced for summer of next year. Says here, in quote, Capcom started off the show by announcing Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, a massive expansion coming to Monster Hunter Rise in summer 2022. This new expansion will contain newly added stories, locales, and monsters, as well as newly added hunting against the quest actions and quest rank.
That game is doing well. I will speak to this real quick. Monster Hunter World. I'm not sure if it's still on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But myself and Victor bought it when it was on sale. Monster Hunter World at the time was the most successful Monster Hunter because that was the first one to allow co-op. That was a big fucking deal because up until then it's been a giant open world solo game. And again, the franchise clearly did well for itself, but the second they had a cooperative, bam,
it just adds an additional
and then
layer.
and then it was on Game Pass, boom. So like in Monster Hunter World, this one is cooperative as well, and it's doing really well for Capcom on the Switch.
Nice.
So myself and Victor, we became fans of Monster Hunter when I played my first one via Monster Hunter World, and again, if I was playing the Switch right now, if I had the Monster Hunter Rise, dude, again another DLC. It's like, oh shit.
Very nice. And then also talked about here, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate's final DLC character will be revealed early October. So that's exciting this year. They're going to have a special presentation actually as well around that time, October 5th, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So definitely check that out. And then also to continue, Animal Crossing will be getting its own direct in October in Brewster, and the Roots are coming soon as well. Mario Party was a big one as also. It looks like Mario Party Superstars sees the return of Woody Woods, Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Horrorland. Says here in quote, a new gameplay trailer was revealed for Mario Party Superstars that revealed new details about the game and some of the maps that will be playable when it launches October 29th this year. The new maps will include classic boards from N64's Mario Party games like Woody Woods, Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Horrorland. There will also be mountain mini-games. Minigame mode, it includes competitive survival course and the cooperative multiplayer course tag match.
I'm out for that. Like I said, we played and streamed Mario Party last night.
Yeah.
So many, getting angry at people are getting lucky.
Yeah. Now,
dude. Okay. I mentioned I'm gonna. Okay, these next two games, these next two things.
Yes.
Again, exponentially better showcase because we had no idea they were fucking coming. No idea.
Oh my
How
God.
they keep this a secret?
How?
How did they dropped like 20 fucking names,
dude.
And I had no idea.
I can't believe that. I can't believe this is happening. Like me not being a Nintendo fan, I'm like, what the fuck and I know you texted me, and I was like, I know, I'm watching it. This is ridiculous.
We were we were texting each other back and forth.
Yeah.
And even though I knew you were still watching, I was still texting like, what the fuck?
Like, I was just like, what? Like, how? So let me continue here. It says Shigeru Miyamoto, and then it was just great to see Miyamoto.
Oh, yeah.
Announces the cast and release date of the Super Mario Brothers movies. Exactly, a fucking movie in the like. God damn, like, yeah, anyway. The Super Mario Brothers, it says here in quote, the Super Mario Brothers movie will be released in theaters in North America on December 21st next year. Also, Chris Pratt will play Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy will play Peach, Charlie Day will play Luigi, Jack Black will play Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen will play he's playing Toad, right? Keegan-Michael Key?
Keegan-Michael Key's playing Toad.
He's playing Toad.
I fucking texted you that.
Yeah, you're stoked for that. It's awesome. Seth Rogen will be playing Donkey Kong, which is hilarious. I know Fred Armisen. He's
Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong.
Yep.
And then someone else is. That's right. Jack Black's playing Bowser, which is like amazing. And then Charlie's Martinet, who voices Mario in the games, will appear in the movie as well as special characters. You know, one thing that even though this is like one of the craziest fucking announcements in the direct, a lot of people were pissed that that he wasn't playing Mario.
That Charles isn't playing Mario.
Yeah.
Real quick, I agree. Now, I'm not saying I'm against Chris Pratt playing Mario.
Yeah.
But I will also say I am kind of disappointed, or at least definitely surprised.
Yeah.
That Charles, the voice of Mario, who's been voicing Mario for decades, isn't voicing Mario in the movie.
Yeah.
Now,
you think Charles was just like, I don't want to do it?
I doubt. No.
No.
Okay, so here's why. I've been to multiple conventions or like Q&As or like, I can't think of the word. Like, conventions. I can't think of the word. I don't know. Q&As, whatever.
Yeah.
I can think of, there's like another word I can't think of. There have been things where like casting directors make weird decisions.
Yeah.
Like, not to go on a tangent, but real quick, I know a lot of people were upset with quote unquote like whitewashing of Scarlett Johansson playing the main character for Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
What didn't really make a lot of news. That was a casting decision from somebody over there, like in Japan. Like that person over there was like, I want Scarlett Johansson, blah.
Oh.
So again, not to a point. And again, I know it's like a weird tangent, but this is like sort of apples to oranges situation.
Yeah.
Is so I can get why people are upset of the quote unquote like whitewashing of Scarlett Johansson playing, that famous Japanese character, playing the major in Ghost in the Shell. That is like, I will say the one time, or at least an example, maybe like an asterisk to the whole Hollywood quote unquote whitewashing, because that was not a Hollywood decision.
Yeah.
That was an internal decision from the casting side on the Japanese side.
Yeah.
Now that being said, I don't know if this is the same situation with Chris Pratt, because I was at the panel. Like, that was literally a Q&A at Anime Expo. At Anime Expo 2016, don't quote me in the year, but that was the panel where somebody said, hey, why is this happening? And like the lady straight up said, the Japanese casting director wanted Scarlett Johansson. So again, not exactly apples to apples, but like you, I was a little surprised when they said Chris Pratt's playing Mario.
Yeah, I think, and maybe not as deep as that, because I think that is a good like comparative analogy. I think it's even maybe just even more simpler why certain people are upset, where it's like why wouldn't the guy who voices Mario play Mario himself? Like, aside for like Chris Pratt not being like, it's me Mario,
Yeah.
So.
My link between that is, again, I don't know if someone in the cast decision on the Nintendo side was like, I want Chris Pratt. Like, I want him by name. And again, that's
that makes sense.
Again, not exactly apples to oranges there, but that was my thought process of like, hey, this rings the bell.
Yeah.
It feels like I've been here before.
Yeah.
But that's
a great, it's a good analogy. So that might have been the case. But
that being said, every other casting decision, dude.
The fact that they worked so closely with everything, and then obviously the big elephant in the room, nothing got leaked. But,
dude, and here's the thing, even to a point, there's what I call unintentional leaks. Like I don't mean like, you know, there's intentional leaks like someone's like, oh, here's a screenshot, here's an email, here's a tweet. No, not a tweet, but like again, like those are like leaks.
All
like,
planned,
like
yeah.
I'm gonna take something I wasn't supposed to, like people aren't supposed to know, and I'm gonna share it.
Right.
Something I'm surprised that did not happen via an unintentional link, and I feel bad because this particular website unintentionally leaks a lot of shit. Is IMBD.
Yeah. Oh,
It's sometimes like someone just Googles Chris Pratt via IMBD and they're like, hold on a second, Mario. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet, so knowing that IMBD has unintentionally or like, you know, leaked or like, oh, hey, this person's gonna play this person, put it on the list. The fact again, like there's like a dozen to like 20 fucking Hollywood names, and none of them just is like, let me update my wiki. You know,
Right,
you know what I mean? Like none of that. Like, and again, not even leak, not even a fucking shadow of a rumor.
Yeah.
Like, because to a point, because I would argue to a point, we knew about shows or movies were like in the works.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was like, oh, they're like before it got confirmed. Oh, there's a rumor there's an Uncharted movie in the works. There's a rumor there's a Halo show in the works. There's a rumor there's a Borderlands movie in the works. Nothing.
Nobody knew
nothing
anything about this. Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to Nintendo, man. Just for that in itself. And then obviously I like a lot of these other casting decisions. I think Jack Black's gonna be amazing. Fred Armisen's been one of my favorite actors. He's so good with comedy. So yeah, I'm stoked for this shit. This is gonna be crazy. Yeah.
I'll say one thing I'm slightly disappointed about is I'm happy that Keegan-Michael Key is playing Toad. He's like one of my favorite comedians. I love him. I love him even back from SNL.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad that his buddy, his partner in crime, Jordan Peele, isn't also like Toad's friend.
I know.
Because I know this won't happen, but the hypothetical scene that ran through my head is like Keegan-Michael Key playing Toad, complaining to Jordan Peele's his Toad friend about like the scene that went through my head is like, man, you won't believe what Peach had me do today. She wanted me to clean the whole fucking floor. I looked at her eyes and I said, bitch. You said that. You said that the Princess Peach. I would have, but Bowser showed up. Like, I would have loved Keegan-Michael. I would have loved a Key and Peele Toad skit of like you said what the Peach? I said I looked like Toad. I looked into the window of her eyes and I said, bitch.
Yeah, that is a classic skit. Oh my god. Dude, seriously.
Like,
amazing.
You said that the Princess Peach's face
like,
to Princess Peach.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's, you gotta know Toad hold it down.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, that's fucking.
Sorry for your reverb for me banging on the table, but I'll just real quick, man. Seeing that skit, top 3 hardest laughs I've had in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
I said, bitch. you said that though, like yeah, to her face.
So another thing on here is the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the old school game. Will be making its way to Switch this November. So it says here in quote, following the news of the remake, Aspyr has announced that the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game will be released on the Switch November 11th, 2021, which is still really cool. You know, still really cool that beast of a game will be available on the Switch.
So scroll up real quick.
Yeah.
One reason why I lost my shit over this game. Number one, Knights of the Old Republic coming to Switch is an amazing decision.
Yeah.
2, I was originally mad when I saw the first 10 seconds of this.
Yeah.
Want to know why I was mad, Drill?
Why were you mad?
Because I thought this was going to be the fucking Farmville game. the fucking Star Wars Farmville game coming to the Switch. Remember that?
Yeah. I think they pushed that game back, luckily.
Dude, fucking kill it.
Yeah, just stop the project.
Take it out back and put it on Yeller. Sorry, boy.
Just stop the project entirely.
But when they showed the characters, I'm like, is that Knights of the Republic is coming to Switch? Like, dude, that's a huge fucking thing.
Absolutely.
Again, the first 10 seconds, I was like, God damn it! Why are we wasting time on this fucking Farmville Star Wars bullshit? Oh, okay, never mind. We cool. Oh, it's like cue the meme of like from that scene from Pulp Fiction. Opens the case. We good? Oh, we good. It's like what's over there? What's that Star Wars shit? Is that Farmville bullshit? Opens it. Not to Republic. Oh, we good. Ain't nothing wrong here, man.
And then another thing here, icing on the cake, Castlevania Advanced Collection brings 4 classic games to Switch today. And quote says here, after leaks and rumors, it's officially announced that Castlevania Advanced Collection will be released later today. This collection includes features Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Castlevania Harmony and Dissonance, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, and Castlevania Dracula X. These games feature rewind, quick save, and button mapping features alongside a gallery mode with never before seen artwork. Exciting stuff there.
That was a cool announcement because there was a lot of quality to life updates, like the rewind thing and quick saving. Because remember these games back in my day, checkpoints and saving. What the fuck is that? The game had saving, but again, like progress lost and shit like that. That was the age. That was the age of like, fuck. When was my last save point? You know what I mean? So I'm happy that one, the collection's coming, and two, that they didn't have to. They could have just ported it and just been like, here you go. But no, they added a lot of quality to life issues, like you said, rewind, quick save and shit, and the gallery mode. Again, and to me, to a point when you had a gallery mode, that's just like for the diehard fans, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like even to a point, Metal Slug. Like I was really into the Metal Slug series. Anytime that game came out for the Game Boy or the PlayStation 2, anything like that, I bought it. Even now on the Xbox, I still have Xbox One through the Microsoft Store. I have Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug X, and same thing, the gallery. It's just super fucking cool.
Nice. One of the last things I wanted to talk about on here, I know we're over an hour, but I thought this was crazy because you brought this up to me as well. Dying Light 2 Stay Human Cloud version and Dying Light Platinum Edition coming to Nintendo Switch. It says here in quote, Dying Light 2 will arrive on Switch February 4th, 2022 is a cloud version. A free demo will be available on the same day. It says on October 19th, Dying Light Platinum Edition will be released on Switch and will help prepare fans for the sequel and help with the wait. So I guess this is a healthy indication that they're starting to catch up as far as for these chips, these conductor chips that we saw a shortage. Like the fact that I remember there was some news earlier this week as far as for like Best Buys and GameStops having PS5s and having Series X's, and then hearing that these games are coming out next year, and obviously, they're trying to get also new customers getting the consoles.
Yes. So
it seems like there's a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to that. So,
dude, that was my OG biggest gripes about at least like the last two consoles, the Wii U and the Wii and the Wii U, to a point where this sounds redundant, but when you compare it to other consoles, it's really not.
Yeah.
It was just a Nintendo face machine. What I mean by that is like if you bought a Nintendo console, you're getting Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Kirby, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's all you're getting. But then the Switch slowly and thankfully, and we've mentioned many times of what to me what was the biggest downfall on the Switch, why it really never had my attention, is because for the big picture, it needed to get other IPs outside of Nintendo. And now, here we are, arguably last quarter 2021, it's like, oh shit, we got a console. We have a console here.
We got some good shit here now.
And the reason I was making a face like, for the video listeners, I was like fucking squinting like, is I just realized I think they might be the only console that's gonna have a demo of Dying Light 2.
Ah.
my ears pitch when you're like Dying Light demo. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
I think as of right now, I mean, it may get announced later, but as of right now, the Switch looks like we'll be the only ones that have a demo of Dying Light 2.
That's interesting.
I mean, like, sure, it's day one, but for a lot of people like myself, now they're like nervous about pre-ordering. Again, following the major Cyberpunk and other games, disappointing us.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, yeah, it's day one, but again, a demo is a demo.
A demo is a demo. That's exactly right.
So again, this is why I think this was the best showcase they had. Like,
yeah,
in terms of like what the fuck that's existing in terms of this expansion pack, and there's still more to announce. But again, so not only did they show Nintendo IPs in a great way, killed it. The Bayonetta 3 thing and fucking Dying Light both Dying Light 1 and 2. I'm like, dude, we got a console over here.
Dude.
Took a while, but fuck it.
Exactly. And even the retro, the retro games as far as that, the Sega games, N64 games, the controllers that are Bluetooth for those games, smart fucking decisions made by Nintendo.
I mean, this is a big pivot for me. You mentioned Bluetooth. I was fucking shitting on Nintendo of like they just discovered Bluetooth. Way to go, guys! I mean, like I remember playing PS3 and like the best Bluetooth ever was that $20 fucking Bluetooth headset you can, talk shit in Call of Duty with, and like they're just getting Bluetooth. Like okay, but then so again within arguably I think a week to go from me shitting on their Bluetooth brand new capabilities to a fucking godlike showcase.
Yeah, they're like, damn, like they really shut us up.
They really, because I wouldn't like, because up until now I don't like shit on Nintendo, but I would just joke about it. I'm like, I remember we went like months without talking about it.
Yeah,
and we were like, hey, like we're not. I mean, multiple times we would say like, hey, we're not Nintendo. We'll give you Nintendo news once it exists.
And we're being very serious. We're like, no, boom. Literally when they do.
like there's just nothing. Like, yeah. So again, this was just another nail in the coffin of like, fuck. This is again like Nintendo is growing in the right direction.
Yeah, they're just like, don't forget about us, bitches. like we're releasing stuff and we're releasing it next year. Like we're not doing this maybe bullshit.
Yeah, because Nintendo is definitely not known for horror or gore.
Yeah.
And the shit that goes down in Dying Light. So I'm like, fuck, dude. They're just. Damn, they want a console.
They definitely do. And I think we're going to wrap it up on that lasting in thoughts or impressions. I know we covered a lot of ground here.
I've said it multiple times talking about Xbox and Sony. Whenever we talk about retro games, I always used to add like, okay, well, I was like, as great as Xbox does and as shitty as Sony does,
yeah,
Nintendo, for years has been the king of like keeping retro games alive.
Yeah,
their store is just riddled with the old school Pac-Man stuff like that, and again just to keep that W going of being the true king of retro gaming and keeping it alive is this fucking expansion pack. Now, one thing I will note, we did not mention the pricing because we don't know it yet. It is like it's like we are literally being told the pricing information will come out closer to release date. But again, real quick to the retro thing. Again, not only are they fucking dropping this N64 games that we knew, hey, N64 games are coming to the store. Bam. It's like arguably quote unquote like a Game Pass situation.
Exactly, man.
Paying for a library of games versus paying for a game up front. And then the mic, the shocker mic drop was like, for me at least, bam, we're also getting the Sega Genesis games. And on top of that, they're remaking their controllers Bluetooth. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, brilliant.
I would love in 2021 to play a legit fucking what's the word? It's not sanctioned, but like it's not third party supported true fucking console, like not like some third party $10 jank from like instead of calling it a Sega Genesis controller, it's a a remote retro black controller for $15 from Walmart.
The generic bullshit that might not work.
Yeah, like a first party. I couldn't think of the word. It's a first party
controller.
First party controller from Nintendo versus the years we've, for the people that play tournaments, especially Smash, think of how many fucking what was that brand? It was like a cat, Wildcat or something like that. Remember?
Oh, Mad Cats.
Mad Cats. Like how many Mad Cats fake Nintendo shit have we gone through?
Dude.
Because Nintendo just wouldn't make them.
They made a killing for a while.
Dude, Mad Cats was fucking loving the business they were getting. Because Nintendo refused to make controllers. And I will say one note with that's the tangent but relative to this is I think it was like an hour or two later after the showcase finished, Xbox and their social media was advertising the Duke is for remember guys, the Duke is for sale.
They did do that, didn't they? They're like, oh shit, let's mention this. Exactly.
Now and for those who don't remember by name of the Duke is the Xbox original controller, that fat, wide controller with the white and black buttons. Yeah. So now mind you, the Duke has been for sale from Xbox for a while now. I will mention that, but again, I thought it was funny that shortly after this Nintendo conference, Xbox was reminding people, hey, the Duke totally exists on our store. But again, to sum up this is the best one. So many things came right to make this the best conference. Again, I think, and I mentioned before, so I'm going too long, but again, I would have never thought this showcase would have been this good. Because it was a mention like, hey, Drill, oh yeah, the showcase is today. We should check that out.
Yeah.
And then, oh, surprise, a fucking Mario movie.
It's the best fucking thing ever. It's like, what the fuck?
But again, there's a lot of factors that came together to make this a great showcase. And again, I think one of the biggest factors is nothing was leaked, not even arguably fucking rumored for a lot of these things.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this is that it was all things Nintendo. Like it showed how much value as far as their games and them doubling down on making new titles and then doubling down on when they're going to be coming out, i.e. next year. And then also doubling down on their library and how valuable that is and giving customers access to old school games with first party controllers. And with a fucking movie that no one knew about until watching the goddamn direct. Like, incredible direct. And absolutely, to me, this is the best video game showcase that I've seen this year. And I'd have to agree as far as, probably the best Nintendo showcase I've ever seen in my lifetime. So kudos to you, Nintendo, and definitely some big dick energy from Nintendo today.
Dude, if this was their E3 showcase, even with all the Game Pass shit Xbox would have showed, as much as I am clearly biased for Xbox, if this was their E3 showcase, bam, I'd have been like, Nintendo won.
Yeah.
And like you said, Nintendo just walking around with a big dick energy. Like, hey, what's up, Jim Ryan? 2,000 games from the store. 1 sec. Genesis games with a fucking controller. Dude, it's.
Yeah.
And then, and the thing is too, because even the game, because up until now I've argued Nintendo showcases at E3 or showcases like this are just like the most bland fucking bingo card of like, okay, a remake of this. Okay, a sequel of this. And even to a point for me, from the outside looking in, it's like, to a point, sometimes their sequels aren't worth it. They're just like a sequel to exist. But like look at that Kirby game. That Kirby game looks so different.
Looks good
from any of the Kirby games we've seen so far. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just another sequel to exist. Like, oh fuck, we should make another Kirby game. Or like, oh, we need to make another sequel. Throw a dart on board. Fuck it, this game.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like even like their last thing during E3, their Mario Party, they're like, okay, how do we keep Mario Party going in a good way? They're like, bam, add the old maps that people miss.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make a Mario Golf game, but we can't. Let's not just do a regular Mario Golf game. Bam, add all these new features to the point that made me want to play the Mario Golf game. I gotta say, man, I gotta say it. I think November I'm gonna buy a Switch.
I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense because they talked about content releasing this year and next year, so. I tip my hat off to you definitely on that.
I gotta say, I think Cyber Monday, aka birthday for Arthur. I think I'm gonna get a Switch. Bayonetta alone is gonna be a major factor to that.
Yeah, it's
too long since I played that game. Like I said, I just fucking bought the HD remake of the first one like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Like it's still a great supported game. And Nintendo, if you're listening at all, please, just have Toad. I said, bitch.
Well, that'll do it here for the Gamers for Life podcast. Again, each and every Saturday discussing all things games. One of your hosts, Jarrell, with me as my co-host, Arthur Thomas.
That's me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next week.
Bye.